Here's some more important points that I'd like you to be aware of before you make your application. The CVE, Center for Veterans Enterprises, or the Veterans Administration, will be looking for unusual ownership or management structures. So if they do detect something like that, or they have a concern about an unusual management or control issue, then they will often do an on-site inspection. An on-site inspection will be conducted either by a Veterans Administration employee or a contractor who has been hired, or whose company has been hired to conduct the on-site inspections. The on-site inspector will contact your company ahead of time, will give you a list of documents and other things that the inspector will want to take a look at. The inspector will most likely want to look at your place of business. So meeting in your home or a meeting at a third-party location is not really a good option here. The inspector is going to want to see where you conduct your business. Next, the inspector is going to want to meet with the veteran. If the veteran is unavailable, and it could be an issue, having another member or another owner, a minority member who is not a veteran or a service-disabled veteran meet with the inspector could indicate that the veteran or the service-disabled veteran does not have time to devote to the company business. That is one of the requirements to be certified. So it is important during the inspection for the veteran or the service-disabled veteran to be able to meet the inspector on site, on the site of the business. The inspector will want to have signatures and information on all the co-owners. So if you have a corporation with investors, or if you have a limited liability company with multiple members / multiple investors, the inspector will want to see tax returns, biographies, and ownership papers to indicate what type of ownership these other members have, these other owners have, what type of control they may have over the company, what type of management decisions they get to have in the company. So it is important to have all this lined up for the inspector before the inspector arrives. Another thing that the inspector may be looking for, or that the Veterans Administration may be concerned about, is affiliation issues. Several veterans have companies that have ownership interests owned by other companies. Now, the Veterans Administration will look very carefully over joint ownership with an affiliate. In other words, if you have a company that performs a certain service, and one of your major minority owners or shareholders is a company that does the same sort of service, then the VA will look very carefully at who really owns your business. It'll be important to establish that the veteran truly does own the business. And in order to do that, you're going to have to show your management and control over the company business, even though you may work closely with an affiliate that is also an owner of your business. One of the major concerns here that the VA has is to ensure that the veteran is truly in control of the company. So they will look closely at any sort of affiliate relationship to make sure that the veteran is in charge. Another issue that you might run into in an affiliate relationship is that of performance. Is the veteran-owned company really performing the services for which it is going to be awarded the contract? Or is it the affiliate owner who's performing the services? Your small business is allowed to subcontract out part of the performance to other companies. That is allowed under the rules. However, if you're subcontracting out or having the performance of the services performed by another owner of your company, then that raises different concerns and different issues that you are going to have to address. If this is your situation, then make sure you're prepared to answer questions about this issue when you receive your on-site inspection. And even though I can't speak for the VA, I feel confident in telling you that if this is a situation that you have where you have an affiliate ownership in the same business that you're in, I feel confident that you will have an on-site inspection. So it's important for you to be ready for that and be ready to answer those questions. Some of the other issues that you may want to look at in the regulations has a good character requirement. So the service disabled veteran or the veteran needs to be able to show the Veterans Administration that the veteran is of good character. So they will ask about any information or involvement with police matters, criminal matters, look at maybe perhaps credit issues. So it's important to be able to show that you are a good citizen. You have basically meet a good citizenship standard when you apply for this certification for these programs. And it's important that the application be truthful. Now this seems an obvious point, and I won't belabor it by talking about it for a long time, but it is part of the regulations. If your application is thought to be or discovered to be containing false information, then you can be refused certification and possibly not ever be able to get the certification. So all the statements that you make in your application, be certain that they're 100% truthful and accurate, and make sure that you have support to back that up. Another issue is past performance or history of your company. Has your company ever been debarred from a base, a military installation, or from a federal agency? If your company has been debarred, then make sure that you show that the barment is expired, that you can establish the cause for the debarment and the fix that you instituted to address the concerns or the problems that caused the debarment. And again, as I said, be able to show that the debarment is over, or make sure if it's not over, and you still apply for the certification program, that you have a very good explanation for why you should be allowed into the program even though you've been debarred by another federal agency. Financial obligations. Do you owe any back taxes to the federal government? Are there any loans that you've taken out that you're in default on or in arrears on? Failure to meet your obligations to the federal government will always affect your eligibility for any other kind of federal government program. And in this regard, the Veterans Administration has, as part of their regulations, a requirement that they check to make sure your company is not in default or in problems with any other federal obligations. And small business protest decisions from the Small Business Agency. Have you filed any protests, or have any protests been filed against your company? This history has to be explained to the inspector. It's something that you need to be aware of. You need to be able to address the concerns and answer all the questions with regard to Small Business Agency protests, whether you filed them or whether they've been filed against you.